What is your favorite sound? Rain. It is honestly the most comforting sound to me. The sound of a breeze whisper rustling through a tree's canopy. The sound of my mother's sewing machine. As a kid she would, every fall, make our Halloween costumes herself. The sound of her machine brings me back to the excitement of knowing Halloween was right around the corner, and has become an ingrained part of fall. Sound of a waterfall or waves. It always soothes me. Rain falling on top of a small shelter you're inside. Rain. Purr. Snow falling. Cicadas. Ooh, there they are now, right on cue. Pure laugh of joy. Anything that drowns out or makes me forget about my tinnitus. Music or a TV playing in the background helps. Crackling fire. What was nice till it wasn't. Social medias. Life. Playing games. There's a certain point where you start raging and complaining. That's your sign to stop playing for now. Growing up. It was fun when I was becoming a teenager. It's not fun anymore. Facebook. Ordering stuff from Amazon. Streaming services. Game of Thrones. The nihilistic attitude Rick and Morty has to character death. In the first few episodes, having Morty bury his alternate universe self was a really unique idea, and the idea that life in a multiverse is meaningless because in any world where you live there's another where you die was genuinely thought-provoking. But now it means the show has no stakes, and because nothing matters, per the show's ethos, it means that I just don't care about anything that happens in any episode. Every episode could literally be about a completely different Rick and Morty and the show would be the same. A Japanese proverb says rain is just a problem if you don't want to get wet. What is a real example about it? I have a student teacher under me at the moment. I place them at risk of failing in their interim, and we had this conversation. I guess it's a sign that I shouldn't be a teacher only if you want to read it that way. Very confused looks. It's either a sign saying dead end, or a sign saying grow. You get to pick what it says this week. It appears they read it as grow, which I'm quite proud of. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. William Shakespeare, Hamlet, Act 2, Scene 2. Just yesterday, here in Japan, it was raining so hard that my windows blurred out. So I went outside with a lawn chair and sat in the middle of it. Our lives revolve around not being soaked, right? We wear clothing that feels gross when wet, uncomfortable. So you learn to associate rain with wet clothes, at least I did. When you deliberately go out there and just sit in it with a towel and a change of clothes ready, it's actually kind of nice. What are the most useful hobbies? Things that you can make money from would be useful, such as sewing, stitching, crocheting, knitting. Arts or crafts. I've come across a few people who enjoy leatherwork and leather burning. Volunteering for the homeless, or elderly. Hunting and fishing. Wifey and I and our kids would have no problem keeping our families fed. Photography. Learning a language. I guess for me it was image editing. Carpentry, imho. Squash. Amazing networking opportunities. It's an obscure one, but learning how to tie knots has been a surprisingly useful skill for me over the years. I recommend the app Knots 3D. Have fun? Smiley face, thumbs up. For me it's horse riding. Not only did I manage pretty grim times with their help, but I also learned a lot about communication, patience and responsibility from those animals. I surely would be a worse person than I am now if I didn't came in contact with them. Also, if the zombie apocalypse ever breaks out, I don't need to worry about transpiration and got my ride secured. An extra day has been added to the weekend. What are we naming it? Fun Day. Monday. Better take away the worst weekday while we are at it. Jeff. Midday. Leg Day. Don't ever forget Leg Day. Most of the English names for the days of the week come from Norse Anglo-Saxon gods, so let's call it Lucky's Day. Saturday 2 Electric Boogaloo, Monday Moon, Tuesday Dew, Germanic god of war. Wednesday Woden, the Germanic messenger of the gods. Thursday Thor, Norse god of thunder. Friday Frigga, Germanic goddess of love. Saturday Saturn, Roman god of agriculture. Sunday Sun, so I'd say either Starday stars or another ancient European god's day. Free day. Framstag. Note Monday. Day McDayface. Sleep day. Friday. Don'day as in, I'm done with this week. Sunday. Don'day. Back to the grind on Monday. People who don't kill houseplants. What's your secret? More water, but less frequently. I have a ton of healthy houseplants. The reason? Indoor Darwinism. This is my home, now your habitat, you houseplants. I'm inconsistent with watering and feeding, probably don't know how much sunlight you need, and I'm definitely going to forget to repot you. If you can survive here, you get to stay. If not, die and make room for someone who can. 1. Get robust ones that don't require perfect light and perfect this and perfect that and so on. Succulents like jade tree, for example. 2. Look at them every day. 3. Reminder on calendar to feed them when required. 4. Have plant food. 5. Poke finger in soil. Water if dry. 6. Don't buy pets that gnaw them. There. Done. Formerly shy people of Reddit, what made you more sociable? I stopped giving a shit. Work. Having to deal with customers and then finally realizing I don't care about them and vice versa, neither of us will remember the other. This is gonna sound extremely corny, but I realized I was more of an extrovert when I did my first shroom trip. I overthought a lot of social interactions and now I go with the flow and stop giving a shit. Yeah, sometimes I fall face flat and cringe, but live and learn. Me from a year ago would be shocked to find out I recently went to a club with friends and danced. Haha. Antidepressants, alcohol and failure, alcohol and cocaine. Drugs gave me the confidence and lack of inhibition to go out and interact with people, and exposure to social situations made me realize that nobody actually cares if you say or do something stupid. Just live your life. People who don't ever want to have kids. Why? Got the mental illness. I need quiet and routine and also space. Also, my sibling has kids, so I will just spoil the shit out of them instead. I can't even care for a houseplant. Almost all of women in my family have had hemorrhages, miscarriages, premature births, you name it. I almost killed my mom coming out of the womb, and then I myself almost died because of liver disease in the months that followed. I'm not risking myself like that. I cannot afford a child. I was the third of 7 children. We were raised in our mother's in-home daycare. I knew by the time I was 13 years old that I'd never have kids. I am now 60 years old and still child-free. P.S. Yes, this stance did end more than one relationship. Serious. What is something you wish people understood? 1. You are not the main character in everyone's life. 2. I am not a mind reader. If there are problems or issues, say it. Don't assume I know it. That I am an overnight shift worker, not a fucking vampire. We do the same things as you normals, we just do it at a different time. Don't look at me like I'm fucking Frankenstein because I'm having a burger, fries, and a beer at 7:30 a.m. It's only 7:30 a.m. in your world. For me it's the equivalent of your 5:30 p.m. Caring and understanding are different. Making someone understand something does not mean they will care about it the way you do. Police will not can lie to you. Mental health can look different for everyone. Just because my depression or anxiety looks different from yours doesn't make it any easier to deal with. What could you do online but prefer to do hands-on in person? Talk to people, read a book, clothes shopping. I'm really short, so a lot of things don't fit right. Therapy session. I'd be nervous someone else was in the room off to the side. Grocery shopping. I like to hand-pick my own meat, vegetables and dairy. I feel like if I buy it online, some picker person is going to give me the shit stuff that's close to going bad. I like writing lists out on paper rather than use note-taking apps. Receive customer service. Create chaos. Buy clothes. Shopping for shoes, pants, or hoodies. Got to make sure they fit the way I like. T-shirts I'll buy online though. Appointment with the doctor. It's easier to talk to people in person and be able to understand them by social cues. What are you tired of seeing on Reddit? If you became your username. Questions. 1 nice AskReddit followed by 20 stupid variants of that question. People dunking on others just because they have a differing opinion. Look, I'm pretty pics. Idiots getting gold or platinum for stupid comments that contribute nothing. These bots that ask super generic questions over and over again every single day. Reposts. Shit posting on a news thread. I hate having to scroll through crap to find honest questions and debate. This stupid fishing for awards. Someone pretending to want help naming a new pet. Mods limiting free speech. Things about sex. Sex-related questions in our AskReddit. This Anthony Tate dude. The constant misuse of the term gaslighting. People throw it around so easily without knowing how complex, sinister, real gaslighting it. Serious NSFW. What was the most disturbing Reddit post you have seen? The guy whose son was pure evil. Like, would run around with knives. Tried to kill his little sister. Eventually he went on a rampage and they had to lock themselves and their daughter in the basement until he eventually left and they never saw him again. No idea if he was dead or alive. Just complete end of contact. I don't remember exactly, but there was a post about a Spanish-speaking wife going into labor screaming at her husband to have the nurses give her medicine for the pain, but he wanted it to be a natural birth so wouldn't translate her cries of pain. She found out years later and was devastated. Saw a video of a guy running over a giant flock of birds and the video ends with the birds being flattened in a giant mass. It made me very upset and I get very sad thinking about it. Serious with only a single sentence. What is the greatest possible advice that you have learned within your lifetime? Never chase anyone who has chosen to leave. You'll worry a lot less about what people think about you when you realize how seldom they do. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Walk like you have lasers coming out of your nipples aiming at head height. Genuinely made me walk with better posture as soon as I heard that. In the end it doesn't even matter. If you wouldn't listen to their advice, don't worry about their opinion of you. Don't take life too seriously, you'll never make it out alive. Hurt people hurt people. Two different things can be true at once. Nothing lasts, but that doesn't make it unimportant. Be kind to people, especially those who are not like you. If no one is getting hurt, I'm either here to help or get out of the way. What famous celebrity is actually still a decent human being? I was dormant in Tribeca for a large portion of my 20s. Met more high-end celebrities than you can count. From people who were in big Super Bowl commercials, C-list actors, up to Taylor Swift. I can confidently say that Chris Martin from Coldplay and Paul Rudd are two of the nicest guys I have ever met in my life. Steve Buscemi is a really down-to-earth guy. Bless his creepy little heart, Dolly Parton is and always was a saint. Just visited down by Tennessee and everyone absolutely loves her. Even today she lives in a relatively modest home compared to her wealth, like $1 mill. Bill Pullman, our Independence Day president. I worked at the school where he sent his kids, and he was hands down the nicest, most grounded famous parent I've ever met, and I've met many celeb parents teaching at that school. He and his wife were very supportive of teachers, always gave us these big holiday gift bags that included nuts and jams and honey made on his ranch in Montana, and were joyful, wonderful people. Their kids were amazing. Amazing. The kind of kids that cheerfully help you move tables when setting up a class or pick up something you've dropped. And of course smart and funny and talented. I don't know if Bill Pullman is famous enough to be called a celebrity, but dang it, I'll celebrate him anyway.